The letter included things that they feel had not been agreed upon, including issues like decommissioning of their weapons. And the Maoists objected to that before even the letter was written.
That is their feeling, breach of confidence. It is not intentional, unintentional.
The idea emerged during this week when UN was here that there should be a letter to UN, an official invitation, but it should be done from both sides. So there should be two identical letters, but one sent from the government and the other one sent from the Maoist side.
The hope was that a clear, unified request could go to the UN.
It was a very intensive week, a lot of discussions with both sides. The Maoists said, okay, we would be ready to demobilize, but also the Royal Nepalese Army, they would have to demobilize as well.
And the government side and the army itself resented the idea of being equated with the Maoist army.
And there's a lot of fear that if the Maoists are army and their guns are not contained, then we'll not have free and fair elections for the Constituent Assembly.
But on the Maoist side is that there was no trust that the Nepal army would not attack them if they were to lay down their weapons.
We drafted, I think, 17 different letters as invitation. The wording was important. After another week of drafting, we finally managed to get 2 letters. So the first step was the invitation to the UN. The next step is the drafting of the comprehensive peace accord. And here, as NTTP and our side, we collaborated really very much. The Maoists insisted that there should be an interim constitution in order to establish an interim government, including the Maoists, till the elections to the Constituent Assembly.
They asked me to come and head a committee that was responsible to bring in the Maoists into the state system and integrate them into the security forces. When I accepted this responsibility, not even a single soul supported me. In fact, my colleagues from the army, they telephoned me and said, General Sharma, you fought the Maoist, the wounds are fresh, the blood is smelling even in our nose, right now. And you want to bring in those people into this army and destroy this army? I'll be the first one to shoot you. This is the type of response I used to get from my own colleagues, friends, with whom I worked for 30, 40 years. But that was the reality. I chose to work for the peace. When somebody wants to work for the peace, you have to be prepared for the humiliation. It comes together. So I accepted it.
At the top level, with me, President Girja Korelas and others, we sat down for the comprehensive peace agreement. For 2-3 months we worked.
On 21st of November, there was the signing and the ceremony. It was a big event. The whole international community was there, all the political leadership, civil society.
This was a huge achievement and really a very hopeful moment for Nepal.
So
आजको यस मितिदेखि हत्या हिंसा आतंकको राजनीतिद्वारा मेलमिलापको राजनीतिमा हामी सबै अग्रसर भएका छौँ।
नेपाली जनताको विजय अहिले जो भएको छ त्यसलाई संस्थागत गर्न, त्यसलाई सुदृढ गर्न हामी संविधान सभासम्म जानेछौँ।
By the time around 16,000 to 17,000 people had lost their lives, the CPA brought a formal end to the 10 years of fighting, and that was the most important thing.
I'm sure I had a glass of beer after that, yeah. I was extremely happy that I was able to be here during that important period of the history of Nepal. I think it was one of the most important periods in my diplomatic life.
It was really a lesson in having a thick skin, investing in building trust and personal rapport.
Right in the beginning, I had a hope that ultimately peace and prosperity will through our support to the dialogue and not through the means of guns.
When a child is born, nobody is more happy than mother. So we are the mother of the peace process. Our joy was beyond description that time.
I prepared a PowerPoint presentation. When they heard that there is a Finnish businessman who knows Indonesia, they are willing to meet me.
You have to say, I want that position, and I want to be there, sitting beside you, not behind you.
I had to memorize Aceh song to familiarize myself.
We just kept on holding meetings after meeting, even went to their hideouts.
There are angry days and there are days where people laugh hysterically, but the shared commitment is let's try and work this out.
A good negotiator is a negotiator who can look in the eyes of his counterpart because the eyes tells the truth.
夏明琪，爸爸又一次踏出寻找你的征程。
为什么这么孩子被人贩子大腿偷到哪里去了？
还有这么多的鸟尸体，全是死的呀！
看放了，都看放了。
看到了远方，看到了远方。
手上这些线索只能一条一条去落实。也希望你就在这些线索里面。
他说别找了，别找了。
应该受惠者的建造，看受益者的意识。
其实我感觉我不是在帮助别人，我感觉我自己是一种救赎。
希望你能快快回来。
Be your own sparkle. Unique combination earrings and necklace design. Perfect match 3. Luxury transformed. Dangling earrings. Real touch. Only natural diamonds. Mason jewelry. A great night's sleep. Night after night after night. That is the difference. The the difference is temper.
Time, brought to you by Temper. This is Asia Tonight.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jill Newbronner, and here are tonight's top stories. Former Singapore Transport Minister S. Iswaran pleads guilty to receiving gifts while in office after prosecutors amended corruption charges against him on the first day of trial. He will be sentenced on Thursday next week. Flights are suspended in and out of Beirut as cross-border strikes between Israel and Hezbollah escalate. More than 500 people are dead following the fiercest bombardment of Lebanon in almost 2 decades. Tensions in the Middle East to dominate discussions at the United Nations General Assembly in New York. Joe Biden set to address delegates for the final time before his U.S. presidency ends. Singapore's population crosses the 6 million mark thanks to an increase in non-residents, but citizen births are down sharply, so too are marriages. Also tonight, the Indian-administered Jammu and Kashmir region heads to the polls for a second round of voting tomorrow. A record turnout is expected, matching the first round of balloting. In your Asia Business Update, global markets rally after China's fresh measures aimed at shoring up economic growth spur investor appetite for riskier assets. Plus, JP Morgan striking an upbeat note on India and Japan, as well as Southeast Asia, which it says is benefiting from the so-called China Plus One strategy. First, an almost 6-hour hearing in the High Court today.